Hello, everyone, and today we're going to be talking about how Donald Trump was laughed at by the UN General Assembly. We're going to watch this clip, and then we're going to hear my take on it, because I have strong feelings about this, to say the least.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
I mean, I do think this was a bit of a gaffe, honestly, because the speech doesn't really flow well at this point. Right here, in the history of the country, and then America's so true. I don't know where that was going. It doesn't sound very coherent, and he does occasionally say things that make no sense. Don't get me wrong. But for starters, I don't think his initial premise is wrong. He's done a lot of things in his first, I think, year and 8 months, year and 9 months in office. He's done quite a bit in a very short period of time, and anyone who denies that is just foolish. He's moved very quickly on policy. He's done a lot of things, from the tax cuts to blowing out our budget, which I'm not a fan of, and he's done a lot of good things, in my opinion, like immigration reform, and he's done a lot of bad things like the spending bill, and so yeah, there are a lot of things he has done. Getting a Supreme Court justice, confirmed, and then hopefully Kavanaugh, that would be 2 Supreme Court justices. Like, just think about how many presidents have had 2 Supreme Court justices, nominated, or, well, not just nominated, but confirmed. Think about that. How many presidents in American history have had 2 Supreme Court justices confirmed, if he does get Kavanaugh confirmed, which I think he will. I mean, the allegations are just falling apart so far as, Kavanaugh, and this woman seems like it's a crock of crap. That's my honest opinion. I do try to be as objective as possible, and I don't see any merit to these claims. Like Roy Moore in Alabama, once again, credible claims. Here, nothing. Absolutely nothing that I see that is credible. Now, as for the America True bit, I don't get that. But yeah, it really pisses me off that the people were laughing in there. I wish you would have said, speaking of the accomplishments that we have done, we plan on adding to that list by lowering the amount of aid that we give to other countries by staggering proportions. We're going to begin trading freely with every nation except for China. And also, we're going to bump China from a class 3 with our postage system to a class 1, because China is not a third world country anymore, and it's time that they compete fairly. I don't think that's asking too much. It's not a stupid tariff. It's just, I'll explain to you real quick. China currently pays, I think, $1.50 to ship anything within the continental United States. So when you send something from China to here, it's like $1.50 plus whatever it took to get, the item to the U.S., which, shipping things from here to China is very expensive. And because we essentially subsidize China's, shipping, things are a lot cheaper going the other direction. And that's just retarded. I don't care what you think. That's a dumb idea. China does not need a artificial advantage against American businesses for no reason. Like, back when it was instituted, people were using rickshaws. That's just not the case. And Trump said something about oil prices and a couple other things, but we're the most powerful nation in the history of the world, and we're talking to these plebeians like they're nothing to us. Let's be honest. America, so far as what we need from the world, is next to nothing. We could be self-sufficient pretty much, like, maybe in a week, if we're going to be, honest here. And, I don't think that we should be, just joining into these show, I don't even know what to call them, because what gets done at these things? Like, tell me one thing you heard that got done at this meeting of the UN. Because I haven't heard a single thing that got done. The last time that the UN had done anything that I heard about was it, said that Israel was bad. Okay, great. What's next? Oh, and Nikki Haley had chewed out a bunch of, majority Muslim countries for saying that the U.S. was bad. I really don't care what you have to say. Like, you're a bunch of people who haven't done anything with your lives as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's just upsetting and annoying, and I wish that we would just move past this and start, acting on our principles and returning to our principles. It's really disappointing how we have this social justice apathy, and it just eats away at your soul. I was in English class, and we were reading Frederick Douglass's account of how he learned to read. And basically, the slave master's wife had begun to teach him to read, but then the slave master's wife said, hey, you can't learn to read anymore. And so then the slave master's wife became like a zealot so far as keeping him away from material, but he fought to learn to read. He chased after knowledge, and he said, this woman, she began to treat me like I was a brute. And so we read that, and then we broke up into groups of 3, and we were supposed to, basically break down the passage. And for the final question, it was, we were supposed to be creating questions for people who would be our students to work on. And the final question was to create something and write an essay. And so the topic that I chose for the essay was to write an essay from the perspective of a slaveholder and to show the morality of owning slaves and how they were able to, fit that into their worldview, and to show the contradictions and other such things that come with that. And this girl, she just looks me in the face and says, well, you can't do that. I was like, why? She says, because people are stupid, and, you can't have them think like that. And I was like, what? What? I just looked at her, and I didn't say anything. I just kept looking at her, and I was like, why not? I think I had to say it twice, and, that was the question we submitted, and the teacher, she thought it was great, and because it is a great question, and it would be a great essay, and understanding how other people think is very important. But this person just discounted not only, other people, but they discounted themselves. People are stupid. Who are you to say that? It's so gross. And it's just this, PC, bigotry of low expectations, and I hate it, and it disgusts me, and I just want people to, I don't want anyone to do more than I would expect from me, and I don't want to force anyone to do anything I don't want to do, and that's just how I want to live. I'm not going to come and try to, beat the crap out of you, and I don't want you to come and try to beat the crap out of me, and I don't want you to try to force me to, work for you, and I'm not going to try to force you to do anything for me. Can't we just, live? I know that I got a bit rambly on this one, but it really pisses me off. So, yeah, I'm a bit upset. Thanks, guys. Have a great night, and check out my Twitter and Discord link below. Bye-bye. 10 minutes now. By the way, I don't run ads, so 10 minutes doesn't matter whatsoever. Like, 10 minutes is pointless.